Hello, friends. Today we're going to read a book called North, South, East, and West. This book is about different directions. After we get done reading this book, we're going to make a tool that we can use to tell us which direction is north when we go outside. To do this, we have to wait until noon. Now let's learn about the different directions. When Carol walks to school in the morning, which way does she go? She walks north. The school is north of Carol's house. North, south, east, west. Look, Carol is walking north. When she goes home, Carol walks south. Look, she's headed from north back this direction to the south. Since the school is north of Carol's house must be south of the school. At the same time that Carol leaves for school, her father leaves for work. He rides a bus going east. This bus is going this direction. That's east. To get back home in the evening, he rides a bus going west. Look, it's headed back the direction that he came, to the west. North, south, east, and west are directions, the four main directions. There are also in-between directions, like northwest, which is between north and west, and northeast, which is between north and east. There's southwest, between west and south, and southeast, which is between south and east. It's easy to find directions. Just remember that the sun always rises in the east. So in the morning when you see the sun coming up, it's coming up in the east. It always sets in the west. At night, when you go to bed, the sun is setting in the west. If you face the sun early in the morning, you're facing east. If you face the sun as it goes down in the evening, you're facing west. If you stand with your right hand pointed to where the sun rises and your left hand pointed to where the sun sets, you're facing the north. Look, she's standing on a compass. Later, we're going to make our own compass with a north, a south, an east, and a west. And if you turn around so your left hand points to where the sun rises and your right hand points to where it sets, you're facing the south. Look, she's turned around. Now she's facing south. You can find a place if you know its direction and how far it is from where you are. Here's the school. Here's our house. It looks like the school is north of the house, and the house is south of the school. Carol is visiting her aunt and uncle. They told her that they live 3 blocks east and 2 blocks south of Carol's house. Let's see if we can find where that is. We'll start at Carol's house right here. We need to go 3 blocks east. 1, 2, 3. Now we need to go 2 blocks south. 1, 2. There it is, Carol's aunt's house. Now Carol can lead the way. Do you know what direction your school is from your house? In what direction is your best friend's house? The supermarket, the fire station. It's a good thing that the sun always rises in the east and always sets in the west, because if it didn't, people would keep getting lost. Here's a compass. It shows us north, south, east, and west, and the directions in between. Here's a map. We can figure out where things are by describing how many blocks east, west, south, or north they are from other things. If I start at my school and I want to get to the supermarket, I need to go 3 blocks south and 1 block east. Let's start. 1, 2, 3 blocks south, 1 block east. There I am at the supermarket. Now it's time for us to make our own compass. Here are the supplies that we're going to need to build our compass. First, we need a bowl or something round. It could be a cup or a plate. I chose a bowl. You need a piece of paper. It can be any color that you want. You need some scissors, a pen, and something sharp and pointy. I just happen to have this barbecue skewer, so I'm going to use that. You could use a pencil with a sharpened point, or you could use a stick if the tip of it is very sharp. Okay, here's step number 1. Turn your circular object upside down so that you have the circle part of it touching your paper. Then we're going to use our pen. Remember to use your 3-finger grip. Trace the outline of the circle onto your paper, and there you have it. Now I'm going to use my scissors to cut out my circle. Remember, it's easier to cut when you hold the scissors in one place and turn the paper with the other hand. Now that my circle is cut out, I'm going to label it just like a compass. At the top, I'm going to write a N for north. At the bottom, I'm going to write a S for south. On the left side, I'm going to draw a W for west. And on the right side, I'm going to draw an E, which is the first letter in the word east. Now I've got my 4 directions marked: north, south, east, and west. Choose a spot that you think is the exact center of the circle. I think the center is right here. I'm going to draw a dot right there. See my dot? Now this is where our skewer comes in. You've got something pointy, right? Maybe a pencil, maybe a pointy stick. Take the point, and we're going to push the point through our hole. But watch out for your hand on the other side. I'm going to twist mine a little bit. You know what? You could even use a nail. A nail would work. Now, push your stick most of the way through so that only a small amount, a little short piece, sticks out on top. Now it's time for us to go outside. I've been waiting all morning for it to be noon. Noon looks like this on a digital clock. And it looks like this on an analog clock. Now that it's noon, I can use the position of the sun to help me find the direction north using my compass. All right, make sure that you're holding your compass flat on its stick. It can't be tilted like this or like this. It has to be flat. I can get mine flat by holding my fingers underneath. Now let's go out in the sun. Can you see the shadow of my stick? Wow. No matter how I spin my compass, the shadow stays in the same spot. That's because the sun is shining from over there. At noon, a shadow will point north. Let me turn my compass till it matches the shadow. That looks about right. You know what? I want my shadow a little bit longer, so I'm going to raise my stick up higher. I raised my stick high so that my shadow would be even longer. Now remember, the shadow points north. Only if my plate is super flat. So look, now the shadow is pointing directly at the N for north. If I turn my body to match, and then remember I have to keep my compass spun with the north pointing towards the shadow, now I can head that direction and I will be heading exactly north. You can experiment with your compass too. For example, if you want to head west, you would need to first point the shadow at the N for north, and then it looks like to go west, I would have to head to my left right now. To go east, I would have to turn to my right. And to go south, I would have to turn around backwards and go back inside my house. You can experiment with your compass and see if you can walk different directions based on what your compass is telling you. Just make sure that the shadow from your stick at noon is pointed towards the N for north.